Greetings and hello and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate Solo, a Star Wars party, 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.fun.
And I'm Crystal Beth from thecrystalbeth.fun.
No, do you have .fun?
No, it's .com.
She does now.
I just like being a part of things.
Yeah.
And you guys seem like you have so much fun all the time.
.fun is the way to go. Everyone enjoys having .fun. And we're going to enjoy talking about, we're going to talk about minute number 17 of Solo, a Star Wars story.
Stolo,
a Star Wars story. It's minute number 17 starts off with Tobias Beckett commanding "Let's go" and leading the attack, and it ends a minute later with Rio telling Han he wants no part of it, and then pulling up his slacks.
His name is Rio, and he's pulling up his pants.
In the Star Wars visual guide,
Yes.
they preserve the spoiler that Rio is an alien in a costume. They only show him in his alien costume and hint that there might be something weird about this guy. And I was like, is that so lame that they, for the sake of most of his time, he's out as an alien. So it's weird that they only show him. It's like only showing Finn in his stormtrooper uniform and going like, who's this guy?
About this guy?
You know, so.
I like that. I think it's cute because I feel like that's also what Movies by Minutes movies do too. We all know how it ends, but we're like, spoilers. We can't talk about what's going to happen next because surprise.
Until minute 24. What?
Right? I like that.
Right.
I like it.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah, Alex, we like it. Gosh.
We'll start over. Let's start the episode over. Let's just edit that whole part out.
Yeah, could you actually just step out of frame?
Just like Corso.
Oh,
we're going to Corso you. Here we got more of this video game talk. We get more of the disembodied voices that don't seem to be coming from anywhere or anything. The NPCs are having a conversation about T-15s are down. We walk from here. Like, it's just totally not like, I believe, there's people on the screen and there's sound of voices, but they don't sound connected at all.
No, it's like they were in post. They were like, Easter egg.
Right.
Let's put it right here.
And
also, we can't get the actors back. So your brother's in town, right? Can you guys both record that at your house? We don't need to mix it with the rest of the audio. We'll just put it in.
Yeah, voice memo on your app, on your phone.
Yeah. I thought people were talking in the movie. I was like, shh. Yes. I kept turning to people and
we're on Mimban.
I don't care if we're going to walk from here. Gosh, you're in a movie.
It's not just a
not just a fabric softener.
It's true. It's not just this dialogue. It's a lot of this stormtroopers and a lot of other kind of NPCs just have this or background characters just have this disconnected voice thing, and it's totally a problem with the new Disney style of movie making. Something's going on in the sound. We'll have to see if we can get somebody from the sound department to answer
Bert, where are
answer
you?
for their crimes.
Yeah, part of me wonders because even in A New Hope, the stormtroopers kind of sound like someone else is voicing them, even though they're standing there doing stuff. It sounds like they added it in later, but it isn't obvious like it is in all the new ones. It's like they're like, we have a little homage to the fact that they sound a certain way, but sounds real.
Well, for some reason, I feel like they're more just aware of the ambience of the ambience of the. I don't know how you say it, the ambient.
Ambient.
Yeah, but like the.
There's an ambiance. There's an ambient ambiance.
Like a stormtrooper talking in the Tatooine desert is going to sound different than a stormtrooper talking in an echoey place like the Death Star. And I feel like they did a better job of making it sound like they were in the environment in which they were. Like maybe when they're saying, give me regular reports and stuff on the Death Star, there's a little bit of an echo to it, which makes it sound more like it's coming from that guy's helmet as opposed to us listening on a headphone or something.
Right.
So, but I don't know if that's just a trick of the memory or it's just because it was only in mono or stereo sound, so they didn't have that much to play with at the time. So
I think it is very obvious in the new movies.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a crazy thing.
Okay.
You know what is a crazy thing?
What's that?
The Wikipedia page for T15. T15s are down. Much like the talk about Rio, like there's not a lot here. They're just like they're basically saying like, well, here's what we know about the T15s is that they were down. Like basically it's like we don't know what it is. A T-15 was used by the Galactic Empire until it was rendered obsolete. And this is cool because it's a tie-in between the two Star Wars story movies. Because during the Mimban campaign, which is now, which am us, a swamp trooper reported to another that the T-15s were down, meaning they would have to walk. T-15s were marked obsolete by the time of the Battle of Scarif, as discussed by two stormtroopers right before being knocked out by Chirrut Imwe. They implied when discussing this that they were looking forward to them being designated as such. So,
because they keep breaking down.
Exactly. That's why they finally rendered obsolete.
It only took
like
10 years. It only took 10 years.
Fix it again, Tony. But with a T-15 instead.
That's a fun little detail.
Then so there's the whole between, I guess, the original trilogy era is the T-16s, which I don't know if they probably don't mean the Skyhoppers, but I don't know. Because then by the time we get to The Force Awakens, they're talking about the T-17s.
You know what I mean.
Because they have that, hey, have you checked out the new T-17s? Those guys in Starkiller Base.
Wow.
So
I'm not gonna lie. I was tickled when they said T-17. I was like, I know what a T-16 is. They did that for me.
Exactly. So maybe are we talking about if we saw the T-15s, would it be like an earlier version of like a T-16 Skyhopper of Luke's little toy ship there?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
If you Google it and you just look at pictures,
it would just be one
it's
smaller.
exactly the same picture.
It would be one less than the T-16.
Right.
Right. There's just fewer.
But why not just make the T-16 better and just make it?
Well, clearly the fact that we're all delighted by this T-16, T-17, T-15 stuff, clearly this is a kind of fan service that we apparently like because it's a deep cut enough. You have to be paying attention enough to know that this is going on and to be aware that the 15s are becoming obsolete. So it's just because it requires that much like more
thinking and
like humility and oh my gosh, I'm such a Star Wars fan that I'm noticing this is how
right?
level
I know the ships.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh look, here's a picture of something that was in the original movie.
Right.
Then throw it off camera.
Well, and that's the other thing, and it's not like it's not derailing the movie to make this reference. I lost my pen again.
Yeah.
It's totally just kind of like, okay, here's like background dialogue that it's there, and if you notice it, it's fine, but we're not like, it's not like T-16, like it's just doing its own
They're
thing.
not like climbing into one and talking about it at the same time. They just added it with bad audio.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's in my head. Where's it coming from?
So here's a question. We see the big setup for this thing in the last minute where Woody Harrelson says, okay, you mouthy scooch, come with me. We're going to go over there. You're going to go over the ridge and we're going to go do this thing. They all go, "Rawr!" and they go over the hill. And then it just kind of fades to the post-battle.
Yep. Fade to foxhole.
Is that, I can't decide is that weird? Like, but then again, I don't really care what they were going to do anyway. So I'm like, I'd rather just cut to the post-battle stuff rather than
pretty much
have to come up with an arbitrary action sequence where they're, doing something. But
I don't know if I could have watched many more minutes of it. That war scene is so chaotic.
Yeah.
Like Saving Private Ryan. It's chaotic, but you can still like see what's going on and feel feelings.
Yeah.
This one, it's just like everything is yellow and brown and dirt and Han Solo is a baby child and now I know about Corso. So I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm okay that they cut.
Well,
I like that they cut through fog too.
This could be also maybe they cut out Corso. Maybe the ridge, when they go over the ridge, they go into a battle, and that's where Corso died, and they cut the whole thing because there's like, and then we have to explain Corso
Right.
We don't talk about Corso.
First
the
rule about
Corso factor.
Solo: you don't talk about Corso.
So, yeah, I think I'm assuming that something's cut there because it's a weird. It's also a little bit of a weird non-Star Wars. It's like that cut in Attack of the Clones where it's like the fog of war cuts. He brings you to the next scene.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Internet Movie Firearms Database, which is my favorite place to be whenever I'm watching a movie that has weapons in it, because even though they're in a galaxy far, far away, it was filmed in or on Earth in this universe. So they used actual guns. And
wait a minute. Wait, what? Explain this.
Real guns. I know. I'm sorry I'm breaking the whole fourth wall with you in this, but it's true. They were.
This is based on actual events that were filmed here on Earth, is what you're saying.
Exactly. 100%. It's very strange.
So is this guns, this internet, what is it? Internet movie arms?
Firearms database.
Firearms database. It's all fictional ones? Or is
it's all of the guns in any movie ever, whether it's sci-fi or nonfiction, like all of it. It shows which guns they're actually using. So Han's Blastech DL-44 heavy blaster pistol is actually a Mauser M712 Schnellfeuer.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. And they talk about how it's used as a sniper rifle as well, because Woody Harrelson also used this gun. Well, Beckett used this gun. And it has the barrel extension to be able to use it as a sniper rifle, which is very, very cool. And then it goes through and shows you screenshots from when it was used and how it's used. This website is amazing. If you like guns and you like movies and you like seeing how they make guns in movies, this is it. Because they also bring up, they talk about Amelia Clark's pistol as well, but the which one is it? The machine gun that you see Han using where he's like, and it doesn't work, so he throws it away. That's actually an airsoft rifle.
Yeah.
The Sterling L2A1.
That sounds so harmless. It's just an airsoft
I know, right?
rifle.
My cousin shot me with an airsoft rifle once. It's not that bad.
Yeah, that's why he got rid of it. He's in war and he's shooting little pellets at people. It's not working. And then there's also...
Wow. Weirdly, when I went to Google, I typed internet, and I don't know if it's... Oh, maybe because the last thing that I looked up, maybe it's getting really smart, because I looked up some stuff on Wikipedia, then I Googled the Mauser, and then M712, and then I type internet, and it's like, Internet Movie Firearms Database, first thing.
Is that what you want? Oh, gosh, the internet is crazy and weird.
Then it's like, or internet speed test, because you were doing that earlier when you were checking your connection.
That's what it offered. That was the
it's also listening.
It's
also listening to this conversation now, so it might just be
Now I feel unsafe.
Right. They also have for the heavy blasters, the Blastech Z6 rotary blaster cannon is in real life the handheld M134 minigun with an M60 hybrid.
That could be Corso's gun, right?
And it is Corso's gun.
Yeah, okay.
So it says, in an extended scene, Corso fires a Z6 rotary blaster cannon at the Mimbonese before being hit with a mortar shell.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
That's what happens, I think. In the scene that we don't get because we cut to the fog of war.
Corso, no more so.
Ha! Oh gosh, why is that so funny?
Speaking of funny
never
things,
more so. That's a better way to say it. Never more so.
Being shot in the torso.
Oh. I'm Han. Nobody cares. I do like this little exchange between Han Solo and Beckett, where he sees this and he knows that this is like the crew that he wants to hang out with. Totally had a similar experience just like this in high school, where it's just like there's the cool kids, and from long story short, it's a happy ending. I ended up hanging out with the kids that I wanted to, but it was like sat at a table and the kids we didn't know each other in high school.
But you ended up where you were anyway. Yeah,
there were kids near me who were talking about music that I liked, and so I kind of like scooched over a little bit, and one of them just turned to me and was like, "Yes, can I help you?" and just totally like made me feel unwelcome. But then eventually we ended up hanging out, and it's okay. But same kind of thing, where it's just that kind of like, "Hi, I'm Han." Like, oh, nobody cares. You know, it's like that you obviously he wants to be a part of this gang. From the get-go, he sees, he's like, okay, this I like. What I'm doing now, I don't like. What this I like. Not just because he can potentially get back to Corellia and Kira, but because it's more his style of operation.
That would have been the perfect time for him to say, "I care."
I care.
Oh, there you go.
What were you gonna say, Crystal?
No, yours was better. I was just gonna tell another quick
gun
middle
factoid?
School anecdote where you like don't know who your friends are going to be.
Yeah.
And there were these boys that were talking about Star Wars. So I was like, oh, maybe I can be friends with them because I know things about Star Wars. And they were like, well, we have to have a Star Wars trivia off. So we did like a Jeopardy thing, but it was like you had to slap the table to get it and guess. And I remember they were like, how old's Yoda? And I slapped the table and I was like, 900 years. And they were like, all three of them were like, wrong. Ha ha. He's 800 years. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I started like quoting, been training Jedi for 800 years. I'm 900 years. And I was like, I thought these people were going to be my friends, but they don't know anything. So I didn't end up being their friend. They
didn't deserve it. You were above their level. Yeah.
Something that because that is an actual line in Star Wars.
Yeah.
You don't have to get a dictionary or an encyclopedia. That is fact. Like movie canon fact.
Yeah. What's funny about that story is at first it seems like a kind of you reverse gate kept them, basically. Like they were like, well, you better know trivia. And then you were just like, well, I know more. So now you're the one being locked out of the...
You're not keeping me out. I'm keeping you out.
Right? Now you can't be my friend. Really, it just hurt me in the end because then I didn't have a friend. But I think about it, man. Ian and Patrick, you silly worms.
You see?
You moof milkers.
Now who's the... Anyway. What else do we have for this minute?
Now who's the
scooch?
Speaking of a scooch, check out when they're talking, Han and Beckett are talking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a stormtrooper. I guess they're called, what are they, like mud troopers or something here?
Swampies?
Swamp troopers. Swamp troopers.
Slappy Samsonite.
There you go. Sloppy Samsonite and the Swamp Troopers. When Han and Beckett are talking, there's one of them that kind of like goes and like makes like gestures to the others behind him and like is like checking in on something and then just turns around right into Han Solo. He's just like, okay, here we go. And like you can obviously we know from even from a regular stormtrooper helmet, it's impossible to see. Can't see a thing in this helmet. But like with all this extra stuff on it, I'm sure it's impossible. So he was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this. Then I turn around right into Alden.
That was probably Doug Benson. Wasn't that Doug Benson's trick? Is like to get in the way of the main actors so that when they bump into you, you'll be like, that's me. He's bumping into me in that scene.
I like that. Right when he's like, I don't care who you are, Han Solo. The TIE fighter is flying over. It's such a little thing, but again, I get a little excited when I see ships I know and hear about ships. I'm like, that is so cool because it's I don't know what.
Well, especially to hear it too. That you don't even have to see it, just hearing that. Whoa, it did. And it's because there was a deleted scene with the TIE fighter. This is the first time we're seeing and hearing a TIE fighter in the film. So
except for maybe on the recruiting video, there might have been a little TIE fighter.
Oh yeah, you're right. They did show them on this little screen. Because first I thought it looked like almost like the Star Wars video game, the old Star Wars video game with all the TIE fighters. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Crystal?
I can't believe that 7 minutes ago, barely, was when he was still on Corellia. in the movie.
Time flies.
Because this is minute 17.
Mm.
It feels like a whole movie between that and now.
Yeah.
Not just 17 minutes, because cinema's crazy.
They don't know. Never know what they're going to do next on that stuff. Go ahead.
Speaking of the TIE fighter going by, one of my notes was just the background busyness here is great. Like, besides the guy that walks into them, there's a lot of just people doing things, stormtroopers and officers walking around doing things, and there's little robots happening, and I sound like somebody's mom talking about Star Wars when it came. There's so many robots going around and stuff. But
robots and the people, they just moved around.
Yeah.
Why were they doing that?
There were so many troopers of those troopers from the Star Wars.
Where do they go to the bathroom?
Right in their suit. Urine and feces is processing the thigh pads. There's just a lot of cool kind of background busyness there. That made me appreciate this scene. Once I could look and I was like, oh yeah, look, there's people.
You know what? You just reminded me that Crystal, you used to host the Fifth Element Minute.
Yes.
Fifth Element Minute.
There you go.
And I wish this movie looked more like the Fifth Element. I wish it had that cartoony brightness.
A little more like, which is interesting because you think of when you look back on, or like watching this and then thinking about the Fifth Element, it seems so clean.
Yeah.
Because of how colorful and cartoony it is. Fifth Element's dirty. Is a dirty movie. There's garbage everywhere the whole time. Everything's scuffed up. But I would not be mad if this was if they threw some more silly in it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's silly moments, but it's also, I don't know, it's
silly
odd.
strings.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to the captain.
There you go. That's silly. No, wait, were you talking about it, or did you actually end up doing a thing about Jupiter ascending also?
I did not.
You did not,
no.
But you were talking about it maybe at one point? You were thinking about it?
I might have mentioned the title, but I've not.
Okay, no.
That would be a lot of work.
Right. Just because they're a guy from a different cutscene from last week was one of the guys who's in Jupiter Ascending, and so I was like, somebody likes that movie, I think, and I thought it was you. Could be wrong. Speaking of, you were saying you didn't notice it was Han Solo the first time you saw it. I missed the bit with the pants here. Rio pulling up his pants. I totally missed that the first time, and then once they talked about it, I was like, what? All right. And then seeing it again, I was like, oh, I get it, because he's an alien. I saw that movie.
Right.
But
and the Empire is very discriminatory.
Yes.
They say only 2 arms per.
Right. Always
alien.
2 there are. Talking about arms.
Yeah, the rule of 2.
No more, no less.
Right. So yeah, I also missed that. And so when he started talking about it, I was like, wait, what? When he was the guy I started I was like, oh, is he maybe like some weird alien that needs a gas mask to live? Like, that's cool. But then, it turns out he's like a monkey. But
yeah.
I mean, I even watching it knowing that was going to happen, it still looks like a hand that's like reaching around the side to grab it. I would not notice because I also am not as observant as Han Solo. I don't know if I would have noticed that was a extra hand because you can't see all the other ones.
Yeah.
I like that it implies that Han Solo was checking out at Rio's butt. And then when he noticed the hand, like,
yay!
Need to change the music to make it a little like.
So I thought,
tush by ZZ Top. Yeah, there you go.
Right? Oh man, I can. This little scooch. I can remember seeing this in the theater and being like, "Oh, okay. Well, a movie wouldn't cut to a shot of someone pulling up their pants unless there was something that had to do with it."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking how the body would have to be like plastic or metal. So I thought it was a droid at first because I can't picture pants staying up on C-3PO either because he's made of metal. And you just slide right off.
And I'm having fun with that. It's a funny thing. to have C-3PO just constantly having to pull up his pants for some reason. Like he can't get them to stay on, right? Like a belt doesn't quite work. Oh, he could probably cinch a belt into that little wiry area.
Yeah, because I feel like he could totally just catch it on. He's got a lot of like nooks and crannies that he can.
Oh, he does.
But
like,
also, it's fun to see him pulling him up constantly, and it's fun to think of him wearing suspenders tbe
I was gonna say he should be wearing oversized pants with suspenders.
Suspenders guy.
Yeah. I have some factoids about Thandie Newton.
Oh, okay.
Because yesterday we did Woody Harrelson. Today it's Thandie Newton's turn to go. You guys want to guess? Want to guess what her top 4 most known projects are?
Solo, Star Wars story?
No, not in the top 4. Crash.
Okay.
Remember that one? That was such a big deal. The good one or the bad one? What's that?
There's 2?
The good one or the bad one?
The one about that solved race problems in America.
Oh, okay, the bad one.
Oh, sorry, you don't like solving the race problems in America? Okay.
Well, it's not solved.
She was in one of the Mission Impossible movies, a movie called Pursuit of Happiness, and Westworld. She was I think she was on Westworld when this was going on, and then that's when I didn't recognize her, even though she was currently on a show that I was watching because she looked so different in it.
Why do I feel like she's one of those people that when she pops up, it's kind of when I see Parker Posey too. I'm like, oh, you're going to do something fun in this. I can tell.
Yeah.
I like your face. I think you're fun. I can't think of other movies that she was in off the top of my head, so I'm going to look on IMDb right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at her Wikipedia page. I think the reason why I wasn't able to name her top movies because I have not seen her in a single movie besides Solo, a Star Wars story, now available on Blu-ray and digital.
She's voicing someone in the Chicken Run that comes out in 2023.
That's a lie. I did see Interview with the Vampire in 1994 when that came out.
That's the one. That's it.
That's it? I don't remember her from that, but I did.
She's the one that screams because her boobs are bleeding, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in nearly 30 years.
When was this? Was that 94?
94.
Oh, it's the Vampire Chronicles.
Of Riddick.
Oh, yeah, because that girl doesn't even look like the other girl. She just happens to be light-skinned. Wow, see?
Well, so here's something else that was cool. She has...
No, that is her. I'm so sorry. I'm very into this right now. Continue.
Right. Oh, if you have anything interesting, feel free to share.
I have to do more Googling.
She has 2 daughters, one of whom is named Nico after the Velvet Underground singer. And she has another daughter named Ripley, named after the Alien character. So she's
cool.
She's got
that's amazing.
Got some good taste. The movie she did before this one was called Gringo, which starred Uncle Owen himself, Joel Edgerton. So there's she worked with Joel Edgerton, and Charlize Theron was in it, and it made me think: is Charlize Theron either in the Star Wars universe or the Marvel universe yet? She doesn't seem to be joining any of the franchises. What's going on, Charlize?
Well, let me make another connection because I looked on this list here. Apparently, right before Gringo, the one movie before that was one called Half of a Yellow Sun. Half of a Yellow Sun. One of the stars of that was John Boyega.
Oh,
so she's 6 degreesing herself all over the Star Wars.
She's on the periphery.
She lived on Brad Pitt's plantation when he turned into a vampire. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
His character is plantation.
Right.
Right. Louis' plantation.
And according to the IMDb, David Schwimmer said that Thandie Newton is the queen of the practical jokers.
Why?
So maybe that's why you think she's always going to be fun when she's in a movie, because there's a lot of practical jokes.
Wait, why is David Schwimmer the arbiter of practical joking?
I don't know. It was just a factoid without context. That David Schwimmer called her the queen of the practical jokers.
Was that like a cameo that he did for like she called up like, oh yeah, tell her it's
He'll say anything.
I think now we're saying Thandie. I believe it's pronounced Tandy most of the time because it's that.
Oh, is it? I apologize.
Yeah, I think she's gone back to her the.
Yeah.
I think she rolls with it, and she's like, she was allowing herself to be called Thandie for a while and Thandie, but her real name is Tandiwe, which.
Oh, okay.
But she's going by Thandie or Thandie for a while now, I think. But
right.
Yeah, I don't think she's not a stickler about it, but I believe people are going to yell at us now. So I just wanted to, hey, remember when you hit pause to go yell at me? I corrected. I heard you and I corrected it already.
Consider us yelled at.
Yeah.
I like that she's using her actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tendiwe is a beautiful name.
Mm-hmm.
I know Fennec Shan, she used to go by a different name.
The actor?
The actor.
Not okay.
I believe she goes by Ming Na now, right?
Yeah, Ming
but
Na
I think when she was on ER, she had a different name, and that was a similar thing where, they were like, go with a more...
Her agents or managers were like, people aren't going to know how to pronounce it. Pick something more blank and bland and vanilla.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like Kelly.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well, does you guys have anything else for minute number 17? It's the 17th minute of the film, if you're keeping score at home.
Right.
No dice this minute.
No dice.
Yeah.
Speaking of Thandie Newton doing fun things, I did want to point out the None of Your Business Company is
it's a good line.
Is a good line.
Yeah.
It's a fairly organic, like not too jokey, but jokey enough.
It's something like it's a real joke someone would make in real life. That,
right.
So it's
love real jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of our shtick, because she's like, when she said, "Oh, none of your business company," I was like, did Disney then have to go copyright the name "None of Your Business Company"?
None of Your Business Company, LLC,
just to make sure that no one used it. Well, all right then. I guess that'll wrap it up. We'll have more wartime fun tomorrow, some more foggy fun tomorrow. Crystal, you are invited back. I understand you're very busy these days, so if you can't make it, we understand, but you just know we'll leave the studio door unlocked for you in the morning.
Thank you for letting me leave, but I'll stay.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. And Pete, I hope you'll come back as well.
Oh.
And listeners, we hope you'll join in on the fun. If you've got something to say about the movie, call our hotline, H-Day Greedo. You call, leave a voicemail where you leave either a memory of seeing the movie, some fun opinion or theory you might have, fan theory about the movie, maybe an Easter egg or a plot hole we haven't picked up on.
Short and funny is the way to go.
Yes, that's always better.
My favorite kind of men.
Yes. So, all right. So, before we go, I want to also point out the Underdog Night Soldiers provided our closing theme, which you can listen to and join us on another Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.